Alright, welcome back. Today we're doing CSS Selectors. So I've got a couple of selectors. Hopefully I've covered them all here, and we'll just go through them. How to select different items that you want to style. So the first one we'll start with is the element. So I didn't actually do an example of this one. Hold on a sec, I'll just add one here. Okay, so if we wanted to select directly all of the P elements, we could add in our style P, and then that will select the P element. So every single P on the page, or P for paragraph, will be styled bold. So we'll just go font weight bold, and now every P tag here should turn to bold, which is quite annoying. So we'll change that back to normal, and now we know the difference between our headers and our P tags. So that is the element selector. So you can select any element like body, H3, any of the main elements. The next one is class. So if we wanted to specifically target one P tag or one HT, one H class, or any element, you can add a class and then equals and then a class name. And then to target this class name with its selector, we would add here P tag 1 and then the curly brackets and then whatever we wanted to add here. So another one, font weight bold, just on, we should probably do color so we can actually tell the difference. So we'll just go color, red, no actually blue, because red's a bit sort of on the eyes. And I don't really like that blue, so we'll just change it to this kind of purpley blue. There, so now we can actually see it, hopefully. There we go. So now this is targeting the P. So if we wanted, we could put a P in front of it as well, which is using its P selector and then its class. Or if you wanted to target anything with the P tag, you can just add dot P tag 1, and then that will target this P tag. Alright, the next one is ID selectors. So this one has ID of P tag 1. So that's actually different to the class of P tag 1. And to target a ID, we use a hashtag and then whatever we want to target. So if we wanted to target the P tag 1 with the ID P tag 1, we can then change this one to something different, and this should change then to pink. So that's targeting with the ID, and then this one was targeting with the class. Now we will move on to the universal selector, which is the asterisk. So I've got up here asterisk, font family inter, and then fallback to sans serif. So this will target every single element on the page and set its font style to inter. You can also put this universal selector after an element. So if you want to do P and then change all of its attributes, you could put a P and then an asterisk after, and then it kind of just does everything within a P tag if you want to do that as well. And the next selector is grouping the same elements. So if you have code that looks like H1, kind of, let's just write some real quick. I'll just write an example here. So say we had code like this, which is a H1 tag with a color and a H2 tag with a color. We can, instead of having this excess code here, we can actually just add a comma and then add our other H2 within this same, what's it called, selector? And then we can get rid of all that extra code. So if you wanted to have a H1 and a H2 this same color, you could use this. So you can group the elements as well. H4, you usually see these at the start of a style sheet if they're going to set all of the default headings the same color. So then we can change all of our headings at once with just one line, which is kind of handy and reduces the amount of code that it uses. So you can see here it's changed all of our headings to this aqua color. So yes, that is CSS selectors.